What's up, guys? Dan Thury back here again for the news portion of Monday, November 6th episode. Got a lot of news to set up. Got a lot of some stuff with injuries, some stuff that's dropped over the last couple hours. We like as a show to wait until nighttime to release new stuff because that's when typically things calm down. And unless you get any really late night big news, most of the injury stuff is caught up with and everything tends to die down. So we're going to jump into it. Hopefully one of the last few pieces of Zeke news we get to drop is Zeke's injunction meeting is set for 2 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. This will decide its fate, whether or not he'll miss the rest of the year or whether he'll be suspended for 6 games or he won't. What is known, though, is that they look to not have his all their answers and stuff figured out after Thursday, which means I believe he is safe to play Week 10. Obviously, keep an update with that. Make sure you have your lineups set and ready just in case, but it looks like Zeke should at least play Week 10. Moving on to the fallout from the Sunday brawls. Mike Evans was the only player suspended from his actions on Sunday. Now, to make a note, though, he was the only player not ejected for his actions on Sunday, which pretty much states that because he didn't get ejected, he'll have to get suspended for a game. As you guys have all probably seen by now, A.J. Green's altercation with Jalen Ramsey, that was the worst of it. Mike Evans' ridiculous pushing of Lattimore, the Saints rookie cornerback, after he quietly shoved Jameis Winston. You can want to hear Hopper's rant on Mike Evans. Jameis Winston, listen to our episode we just dropped tonight, or should be dropping later on tonight, for his very passionate hot take on how much he hates Winston and Evans right now. So go check that out if you haven't already. Then the other ones with Hyde and a couple Arizona players. Apparently John Lynch came out and praised Hyde for sticking up for Bethard. I unfortunately didn't get to watch the game, so I didn't get to see that happen. But either way, Evans was the only player to get suspended, and of course he is appealing it. And I think he could even make a case for it, as nobody else got suspended for theirs. Moving on to more Bucs news. Jameis Winston will be held out for at least 2 weeks to rest his shoulder, all of his shoulder injuries and things like that. Like, this should have been made at least 2 weeks ago. He's their most important player on this team. And maybe then, if they would have done that, they could have had a chance to save their season. As of right now, Winston, in my opinion, I think he will be eventually placed in IR. I don't think he'll play the rest of the year. I think the Bucs will just say, fuck it. They've already shown that they will do that during a game, as they did against the Saints last night, or against the Saints yesterday. So I don't really like this Bucs team moving forward. Though Fitzpatrick does have a decent matchup against his old team, the Jets here, so another potential rival game, revenge game, as they'll say. Even though Evans looks to not be playing, at least for now, he won't be playing. Des Bryant, he left Sunday's game with an ankle injury. There was no severity of the injury from last night or this morning, but it had come out earlier today that it was minor and that he should be considered day-to-day. But just, keep listening to us. We'll give you guys the updates, or keep checking all your regular website checks for injury news and stuff like that. You'll find out more later in the week. Moving on to some more injury news. Devonta Freeman has come down with an unknown injury. They have literally said nothing about what this injury is. So as with Dez, just keep in touch with the news. Keep an eye out to see what is the make of this. The fact that it's unknown isn't good or bad, I guess, is one way to put it. But as for right now, just keep that in mind if you own Freeman, or even if you're a Tevin Coleman owner, because if Freeman's not able to go, Coleman is more likely an RB1. No matter who they play, even though I think they're not on a bye this week. I don't think they're on a bye. Either way, if Freeman is to miss time, Coleman is considered an RB1. San Francisco, George Kittle has already been ruled out for Week 10 against the Giants, and they also placed their wide receiver Trent Taylor on IR. In response to this, They signed tight end Logan Paulson and wide receiver Lewis Murphy. Tyler Lockett was a DNP today in practice with a shoulder injury, so just keep an eye out on that if you own Lockett in any leagues. This also gives a boost to Paul Richardson if Lockett doesn't go. Ben McAdoo stated that other quarterbacks could see future work this season. The season's loss that was already stated was the loss of Odell in week 2, 3, 3. And the fact that it took them a long time to win a game. It looks like Ben McAdoo's days are coming up. This could also be a sign that Eli Manning's time up. His time could be up in New York. They want to see what they have in third rounder Davis Webb. They also want to see what Geno Smith could do. Maybe spark, maybe provide a spark in this offense. Who knows? Broncos are sticking with Brock Osweiler for some fucking reason. Obviously, Trevor Siemian can't be much better or worse. Brock was completely garbage against Philly. It looks like Paxton Lynch isn't quite ready yet, which is why Osweiler has already been ruled the starter for Week 10. Jeremy Curley was suspended without pay for the next 4 weeks for violating the NFL's drug policy. So a slight boost. He was already the 3 or 4 there. He was a third receiver, 4th target there. So just maybe a little boost to Robbie Anderson and and Curse and maybe Ishe. Corey Coleman has been designated off of IR, and he is set to return, and he's resumed practice as of today. This is a boost to the Browns receiving core. It finally gives them a legit receiver to throw to, as long as he can stay healthy. The last season you may be able to get to see them actually throw all together something different, something decent, with Josh Gordon also resuming practice and should be set to go in a few weeks. And then last piece of news, DeMarco Murray suffered a knee injury during Sunday's game. This is why I think they were more cautious with him after that. Again, something to monitor if you own him. And then if he doesn't go, Derrick Henry looks to be more of an RB2, high RB1 type of play, or high RB2, low RB1 type of play. That's all the news we have for today. There's other pieces of news, like Fournette looks to be the starter and should be playing next week against the Chargers, as long as he doesn't miss more team meetings or the golf outing on Wednesday, random shit like that. So that's all we got for news. Again, I'm Dan Thury at 3BFS, where you can find me on Twitter. You can follow the show page at BeerfieldFF on Twitter. Hopper is HopBFF with 2 P's. Nick is Nick Sparts. So follow us. We will continue to do this. Tomorrow, Hopper will be on to do the waiver wire pickups and news. I'll be back on Wednesday to do starts and sits. Nick will be on Thursday for anything that happens Thursday, which is more dynasty related news. Friday, Hopper will be back on to do DFS picks and plays. Saturday will be Nick's in and out portion, which is a good thing to listen to with all the injuries starting to mount up from the last couple weeks. And Sunday, those guys will be back on, and potentially myself, depending if I have to work or not, to do our live Q&A before kickoff. Again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys Wednesday. Peace.